Good day. Thank you for inviting me to speak at this conference. Although we are now using digital technology to reach out to you, but it is still as effective as communicating through other means as well. Firstly, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me the opportunity to share my ideas during this conference, and of course to give you some insights into the new concepts of designs in terms of hospital designs, and of course the architectural methodology that we'd like to use in the world today. Being an experienced hospital operator and somebody who has worked around the world, it's been very much a privilege for me to see and experience different types of designs and hospitals which work for communities and work for the purpose they have been built. And in my recent article written for the Magazine of Architecture in Vietnam, we had clearly highlighted that the functionality of designs and the simplicity of designs are at the core of how hospitals are designed today. And just to share with you that as to how we've seen the world move today with regards to disease and pandemics, and of course with the management of non-communicable diseases around the world, hospitals now work as more towards a decentralized model where there are core functionalities within a hospital which serve the functions of emergencies and work towards a rapid response mechanism within a hospital where core specialties like imaging, radiology, emergency services, OR and recovery and ICUs are situated into one core, while there is a very cellular design structure which works towards distributing the flow in terms of how scalability works in terms of design and construction. I think one main function of how hospitals work today is building sustainable models, not too large, and scaled up to a volume of expansion as the requirements of the hospitals, are required. The second part is the hospitals are designed now with a lot of resource considerations, and mostly manpower, especially with the reduction of availability of manpower globally in terms of specialized staff. Hospital workflows are designed in such a way that there is minimal requirement of human resource in terms of movements and in terms of service delivery as well. I think the third part of where we'd like to really have a discussion on is the digital interfaces, in where hospitals should be designed for the future in terms of being able to plug in and to interface with digital accessories or digital applications that help to reduce the human resource requirement, number one. And number two is that the efficiency of using digital should be built in order for us to work faster and work smarter. Fourth point that would really like to bring across here in terms of how we design hospitals, and of course the expansion of hospitals itself, is to see how we can reduce the working space within hospitals by decentralizing services, using again remote accessibility with digital interface, and of course to look at how clinics and outreach programs like home health care are designed in such a way. All these operational aspects of how hospitals are run would give us a very good idea of how the footprint of a hospital would work into the future, that we do not build high-rise buildings, we build footprints that are functional, footprints that are more scalable, and of course footprints that give us a future in terms of how we protect our environment and work towards a green industry or a green environment which allows us to preserve the environment around us as well. From an engineering perspective, there are of course materials and of course substances that we use within hospital designs now that allow us also to change the functionalities of how we build spaces within hospitals and to fit and retrofit hospitals based on the requirement at that particular point of time. I think the pandemic for COVID-19 had taught us that there is a requirement for us to basically change functionalities within hospitals depending on the requirement and the need of patients during that time. So we have to also look at how hospitals into the future are built to handle such infectious disease in terms of creating facilities, specifications that look at preserving the control of infection within the hospital design itself. There are many aspects into how we look at hospital designs, but I think in a nutshell, few factors would predict into how we work with the design and build of hospitals. One is the infection control, second is the scalability of the design, and thirdly, the economic sense of running a healthcare facility with regards to being able to be self-sustainant from a resource perspective as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak again, and I wish everyone a good conference. Thank you very much.